Okay, and I will close out of that. Okay, for those who are here joining, you'll want to go ahead and get to those two URLs. First is tinyurl.com/11-4 capital G slides. That is case sensitive. So if you mess up any of those characters, you won't go to the right place. Okay. So have that open in one tab, and then go ahead and open up the other one there. Wireless network 1. Is that what you have?
I have it. I'm on 1.
Okay. If not, we can get you.
That's fine. Well, I thought the signal's really kind of weak then.
It's interesting because it's right there.
It's spinning. Yeah, I only have 2.
Okay.
But it's on it, so.
Well, what you could also do is turn your Wi-Fi off and then back on if a signal is weak, because it might be pulling from the old access point. That sometimes happens. Okay, let's see. Let me look here. There we go. Okay. There's where you need to be. You're welcome. Yeah, like I said, sometimes when you move from place to place, you're going to hit the access point in one area, and then it'll hang on to that even though you're under another access point. So usually when we turn things off and then back on, things connect the way they should. Okay. All right, so the 2 documents. First one is the back-end slide deck, and that's basically for your benefit. Unfreeze this here. This presentation has reference images that detail what it is I'm talking about at any given moment. And so I'm just basically going in order. You can see the screenshot based on what it is I'm talking about, and then the little description in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, so you can feel free to keep that open or refer to it later if need be. The other document, which is what we have right here, which is a Google Doc, that's going to be our agenda. And 2 things that you want to probably go ahead and open up as well. Underneath presentation supplements, you see it says training practice files via Google Drive. Okay, that's a collection of media assets that we're going to be working with today, including images and videos and PDFs. Okay, when you click that link and click it again, it should take you to where you need to go. All right, and this is the directory it should take you to. You can see it's got lots of sample files that we can play around with. Okay, and then the sample embed codes, it's going to look like this. This is all HTML language that we're going to copy. I'm going to show you how you can use that in your websites. It's for like embedding videos or presentations. Any of you ever done any embedding before in a website? Oh, well, ish, kind of. I helped you. Okay. Well, we'll be going over that today. That's sort of towards the end. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. If you would, go ahead in a new tab and navigate over to your school's website, okay? Your school's website. If you're at the ESC, you can go ahead and go there. Obviously, we got a couple middle school teachers here, so ams.alcoaschools.net. And what you'll do next is you will scroll down, and in the lower right-hand corner, you will see the login icon. Go ahead and click that, and then enter your username and then your password. All right. Remember, when we log into the school website, we're only under username using the first part of our email address, not the @Alcoa Schools. All right, I have a dummy account set up here that I use, be working with today. So let me go ahead and sign in, and we are here. You'll get this message whenever you sign into Edlio about two-factor authentication. Just ignore it, okay, for now. When this was a feature that was rolled out a few months ago, and well, I think there were some issues with it. It wasn't very friendly, user-friendly, in my opinion, at least the version that I was working with. And so it's supposed to make things a little more secure. But if you have to be constantly tied to your phone just to log into the website and make changes, it's sort of counterproductive because we're all very busy. And so I basically just turned that off. All right, so here we are. We've logged in to Edlio successfully. Do it the same way every time. First thing we want to look at are the profile settings. All right, so in the upper right-hand corner, you can see you have the account label right here. And underneath it, you have the dashboard and the profile. Okay, so if we click profile, all right, we can do a couple things here. If we need to change our picture, which we're just using yearbook pictures made by the yearbook photo companies, we'll use that. But if for some reason there was a problem or you had a newer version you wanted to use, you simply click on the icon here and then click edit, and then you drag your new photo in. Okay, pretty easy. All right. Then if you need to edit some information, maybe you take on a new role in your school and you want that reflected on the website, you could click edit your profile, and then here you are. Okay. The position, math teacher, science teacher, this is where you would enter it. All right. And then that would appear in the directory section of the school website. Now, this was all filled out, and we've encountered an error over the past couple weeks where this info isn't being displayed, and I'm working with Edlio right now to get that resolved. And so I've got a support ticket in. So if you go to the school website that you're at and you don't see the position listed, any of that information there, just know we're working on it. Okay. Then you can have some other information you can add there, a little link for additional information. This is why you might see at some point users who have their phone number listed. This is where they would add that. Okay. Okay. Make sense? Pretty basic stuff right here. All right. So I'll just go back here. Next, we're going to go to the dashboard. Okay. So the dashboard is the place where you get quick access to the parts of Edlio that you're likely going to want to go. All right, so we'll click dashboard, and here we are. All right, you can see it's broken up into newsletters, contact lists, plan, announce pages, supply lists, media, classes. We're not covering all of these areas today, but just so you know, Edlio does give you the ability to create custom, really nice looking newsletters that can go out to people who subscribe to your page. You can keep up with all of your subscribers via the contacts list. All right. There's some other things you can do here as far as planning, calendar-wise. And then you can see the other options here. We used this new feature, supply lists, at the beginning of the year. This was just rolling out at the beginning of the year, and it was really nice because you could tie the items on the list to items in Amazon or other stores. And if you click on the links, it takes you right there and puts it in your basket. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Yeah. The media section here, that's going to contain all of the AV items that you've uploaded. Classes, this is for information that feeds into the classes section of the school website. And then, of course, posts down here, the last item. You can think of posts as a blog area. So if you wanted to keep up a record of what's happening in your class, or I'm sure there might be blogs that you all follow where people write articles and things like that, you could do exactly the same thing. It generates an RSS feed that people can subscribe to. and then it pushes the information out to them if they subscribe to it. You can include text, audio, video, images, anything you would see in a blog that you subscribe to. So it's a pretty powerful feature there. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go to the pages section right here. All right. Pages. All right. Now you have two sections here, personal pages and category pages. A category page is going to be one that has been assigned to you, that you have to navigate through different categories to get to it. So example might be if you are the manager of a club or an activity, or you coach something, those are individual pages inside of Edlio. And we can designate anyone on the website as a manager or an editor of those pages. Those pages all fall under category pages, which is what you see here.
Are we supposed to see that?
You may or may not, okay? If you don't, it's because no club or activity has been assigned to you, all right? So if I go through here and just sort of drill down through clubs and activities, eventually I'm going to get to this fake club that I set up, the World War II club, okay, at the high school, all right? And that at this point, I can go ahead and edit any page that I want to, all right?
Who do you talk to get one? Because like we just started a student council, and I'm the sponsor, but we haven't had one in a while, so it's not on here anywhere. How do we get one added?
Well, let me know. That's one thing. And then Miss Bremer, okay, and I'm not sure as far as other clubs and organizations there at the middle school who's in charge of those, but probably would be a good conversation for us all to have, including Miss Long, so we could get some of that information out there where people could see it, right? But it's really just a matter of creating the page and then assigning it to you. It's simple, very simple. All right, so let me back out here to pages, and then we'll go to personal pages, okay? All right, so under this account, I have not created any pages here. All right, I am starting from scratch. You all likely have something already here, okay? So the very first time you've used Edlio, this is what it's going to look like, and you're going to be prompted to add a page. So that's what I'll do. I will add a page, which leads to my next point here, the different types of pages. All right, you can start with a totally blank page. You can have a link to another page, and then a feature page, it only consists of that specific feature. So video only, photo albums, calendar, and then a links page, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just start real quickly with a blank page, okay?
Are we supposed to have the links option also?
You're not seeing a links page option? Are you all seeing a links page option over there?
Link to another page, but not other links.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I may have to look at that. Might be something I need to enable on the back end. Okay. Basically what that does is it creates a page with a collection of links that you can manage.
Yeah.
You can still add those on a regular page, so it's not that big a deal. But it is nice to have all the features available to you. All right, so here we are. We're on a blank page, and we want to talk next about page layout. So how your page looks is going to be determined on the layout. And if you notice over here on the right-hand side, there's this option that says layout. Okay, so the current layout that I have selected, it's going to have a sidebar over on the right, and then the main area of information on the left. Do you see that? All right, and of course you can change all of that. You can have just the middle option selected, and so it eliminates the sidebar altogether. Or you could have it on the left, or you could use these other ones here. Now this is useful if you really want to highlight, if you're really graphical, you can use these. These are called hero layouts. And so what this will do is this will leave a really big area up at the top of your page for a big banner picture. And then you can put that up there, and then all your regular content underneath it. Okay, so these are fairly recent, these options right here. I'm just going to go with the standard option, okay? And next, I'm going to go ahead and begin to add some content. So you'll see down here this little add button. That's going to let us add a block. Now, a block is going to be a type of content that will be inserted into your web page. You can have text content, photos, downloads, supply lists. You don't really need to worry about, and then buttons as well. Now, do you all see all of those options there? Okay. So if I just work with the content page block, you're going to see that looks just like a text box. All right, so at this point, I could start typing in some text. But before I do, I want to go ahead and type in a little label up at the top here. So if I typed in about me, all right, then I'm going to strike the return key, and then I'm going to put in some more text. So I've got this lorem ipsum generator over here. I'm just going to copy some of this text. This is great for using text without having to type it. All right. And then I will paste it in, edit, paste and match style. When you choose paste and match style, it brings in the text stripped of all of its formatting, which is nice because on your website, you don't want all kinds of different fonts and sizes and colors. This eliminates all that. All right. So I'll choose paste and match style. And then here we are. Okay. Now this, actually, I don't know if I want to get into that just yet. I don't want to jump ahead of anything. So content page block. I guess I had that all. Yeah. All right. So whenever you're working with text on a page like this, it's important to know what sort of style you're using. So if you want like a label here to stand out, what you would do is you would select it, and then on your formatting toolbar right up here, underneath the div drop down, you're going to see the option to apply a header. All right, and if I chose header style 2, it's going to apply that text style right to my text. All right, now if I save the draft, oh, I got to title my page here. Okay, I'll just title this. Okay, we save the draft here, and then I preview this page so we can see what it looks like. You can see that because I applied that style, see what it did to the text? It made it stand out. That's a paragraph style, okay? Or a header style, rather, right? That's going to make your pages look nicer and more easy to be read by the end user, all right? And that's, again, that's a nice feature that's built into Edlio. I saved the draft, and then I went to preview draft. That way I can see what it's going to look like before I publish it to the World Wide Web, where everyone can see it. Okay? There's a lot of other options here. These are pretty standard. You can add bulleted lists, numbered lists. You have your indent options here. There is the option to embed or source code in here. You can see what all of these are. I'm not going to go through all of them. One thing I will say, though, is that you have to really be careful whenever you're considering adding tables to your text boxes or your content area. Because if people are going to view your website on a mobile device, oftentimes tables don't render properly. And the content will either look squished or it'll run off the page. Sometimes it won't even be visible. So if you can just stick with avoiding tables whenever you're building your website, you're probably going to be better off. Okay? You'll notice some other options here that aren't immediately visible on the toolbar. You'll see those when you click the More icon. It looks like 3 dots there. When you click that, you'll see the option to insert a video, a picture, and then you have some aligning options here as well. So if you wanted to have text wrap around pictures or things such as that, there you go. Okay. Along with the font colors that you see here, to customize a color, all you'd have to do is click the little, what is that thing called? It's an art tool. Is easel, not easel, painters.
The thing where they're paint.
Right, I know, but what's the name for that?
Color palette,
It's a color palette.
I think.
I bet you Miss Cedeno would know. She might be watching today. You don't have to let us know. Maybe send me a message later, Miss Cedeno, if you're watching. At any rate, yeah, that is the content block.
It's a palette.
Palette. Okay. All right. Very good. And what is so nice about the content block is that you have the option to add pretty much anything you want to it. All right. Picture, video, text, links, anything can go in a content block. Okay. All right. Let's see what a photo block looks like. All right. So I'm going to leave this block alone. Oh, and FYI, if you start having lots of blocks, you can move them around with these little handles. That's the other nice thing about having blocks. It makes rearranging things a lot easier. All right, so let me click Add, and then we'll choose Photos block, okay? All right, so at this point, we're going to need some photos. So remember that page that I told you to go to? All right, you'll want to go there, your other tab. It's going to be, where is it? Ah, here we are. The download files. So I'm just going to grab a few of these here, and you can download them one at a time. If you just right click and choose download, it'll put them into your downloads folder. I'm going to do 3. Okay. All right. Now I'll come back here to my photo block and I'll choose upload. All right, I'm going to get these from my computer, but just so you know, you can pull them from your Google Drive if you wanted to. Yeah, control click is going to be a right click. Yeah. Did you need some help there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, folks. Let's see.
Trouble again.
Okay, that's all right.
So I have highlighted, so you right click.
Oh, no, you have all of them highlighted.
Okay.
Yeah, just one, and then we'll control click. There we go.
Both control
Down.
click. I was trying to right
Yeah.
click.
I may have said right click. Right click will work when you're outside of Google Drive. It's a different menu that you get. So, all right. So I'm going to go your computer, and I'll navigate to the download section. And here are the 3 photos that I just downloaded. Sample photos 1, 2, and 3. So I'll open those up, and it'll quickly upload them. All right. So when you do, it looks like you have errors on them. Okay. And you can just get one if you want. All right. So it says missing alt text. So this is an accessibility feature that is required that we comply with whenever you're posting images. Okay. So until we add some text here, our images won't display. So all I'd have to do to get them to display is click Alt, and then we just type in a description of that photo. I'm just going to put the number 1 just for right now. All right, I'll do the same thing with the next one. I'll type in the number 2 though. And then the third one, again, you have to type in something or it won't let you do it. Okay, and then you can add a caption if you want to be superimposed over the picture. Okay. What a nice sky. Okay. All right. And then you can see you have some other controls here. This little gear. If you click settings, you can have a little rotation layout here or a stacked layout. All right. I'm going to leave it right now on the rotate layout. I'll click save. All right. And I'll save my draft. I want to see what this looks like now. So I'll go back up to Actions and Preview Draft. And let's see. Ooh, looky there. See it? It's actually made a slideshow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You control how fast it goes through? Or?
Not really. No, it's set levels in terms of speed.
The viewer can stop it, I think,
Yeah, they
If
don't-
I publish it, yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty easy to do. Photo page block. Okay. And then if you, of course, you want to get rid of it, you're going to just click the trash can and that will remove it. Like I said before, if you want to move a block, you can just grab the handle and drag it up. Now my photo block is at the top of my page. See? Okay, move the About Me back up. All right, next, let's look at the Files page block. So if you have, if you want to have an area on your website where people can download files, you're going to use the Files page block. All right, so again, click the plus button, and then choose Files. Okay, this works just like photos. In this case, we're going to upload some PDFs. So again, those were other types of files that I made available to you. Let's see which ones I want to download. There's how to use calendar and tasks. Let me download that one. Okay, I'll download this one. So I have a total of 3 I'm going to download. Okay. Okay. All right. And we'll come back. That's okay. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming. All right. We'll choose Upload. Again from our computer. And there's the 3 PDFs that I just downloaded.
Did you evaluate him from your Google Drive?
Yes, absolutely. And here they are. Okay. Now, this is cool. What you can do here. Watch this. If you click on any of these more buttons right here, you can change how it's displayed. All right. So you can have the file name displayed, or you can have a little preview of that displayed. Okay. Or you can make it a little larger or really big right there. All right. And this is actually useful, the fact that you can rename it up here on the website, because sometimes whenever we create PDFs, the file name is long and lengthy. This eliminates that by giving you the option to simply rename it. All right. So if I save this, I'm going to see what it looks like when we go to preview the draft. Okay. I have the option to download it, and then there's my other ones there that folks can get too. Okay. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. All right. Let me close out of that. Okay, last block we're going to look at. That's the button block. Okay. So the button block is basically, it's just a link. Okay. But it comes in the form of a nice button. So an example of those, if we go to the district website and I go to technology, you can see these are examples of buttons. Yeah. And see how when you hover your cursor, they change color? Yeah. And so you can add these over to the right. You can add them in the middle. But let's go back and show you how to do that. All right. So we click Add, and then choose the buttons option. All right. So then it's going to create the button and then ask for a label. All right. I'll just say hyperlink. All right. Okay. So type that in, and then when you click on it, then it'll prompt you to enter the URL of where you want it to take you. All right, so I'll say this is just going to go to Google, okay? And you also have the option to open it in a new tab, all right? So not a ton of options here, but you can change the look. You can go from black to white, all right? and you can change the shape. So you have rounded corners. How I got there was just by clicking the little gear right there. See that? So rectangular and rounded corner. All right, and then you just choose the style that you want. All right, and then if you add more buttons here, you're going to be able to move them around, pick them up and move them around. All right, and then you can add more buttons by just clicking Add Button, and then you'll have the option to create another one. Pretty straightforward.
Can you link that to a page within your?
Yeah, so long as you have the URL. And what you might have to do is have your live website in another tab linked, and then copy that URL. Yes. Yeah, good question. Good question. All right, moving right along. That leads to the next item on the agenda, publishing and unpublishing. All right, so remember, publishing is going to cause the website to go live. We've already saved our draft a few times now, but now we're ready to publish. So all you have to do in the lower right-hand corner is click that Publish button, and boom, now it's published. It's out there on the web. So you're like, okay, well, where did it go? Well, there are places, if you're a teacher inside of our Edlio setup, where people can access your page. But if you wanted to send that page to somebody else, what you would do is go to Actions and then choose Public View. Okay? Public View is going to take the visitor to the actual live site. Okay? So we can close out of that. And we're back here. Now, if you decide, oh, you know what, there's some information on here and it's incorrect, I want to quickly remove it or make it not accessible to folks. So what you can do is go up to Actions and you can quickly unpublish it. So if somebody had that link, it's going to take them to an inaccessible page. They won't be able to get to it. So if you're in a panic, you can always do that. And another nice thing here is the publish history. So that's saved me from time to time. If I've totally messed something up and I need to go back to a previous version, you could choose Publish History, and then it'll show you all the versions of the page that you've published, and then you can restore that if you need to. Or you can view it, and you can view it before you restore it as well. Okay? Notice you also have the copy option here. And that basically makes a duplicate of that page. So now we have two of the same types of pages. That's sort of, think of that as maybe like your first page could be a template where you have things laid out the way you want to, and then you're just going back to the copy and you're replacing it with different information. Could save you some time. All right. And you can see here, if I go back to my pages and personal pages, see, I have two listed here. Now, the page that appears at the very top, that's going to be the page that people go to whenever they click on your teacher link at the top level page. So if you had a photo page that you wanted them to land on first, you would have to drag that up to the top of your page list. That makes sense? Okay. All right. Let's talk about video pages. All right. So we'll go to Add Page once more. You can see that's one of our options down here. Videos. And here we are. All right. At this point, it's prompting us to upload video or audio. You could upload an audio file. MP3 format works. I do have some videos that you can download and use. These are all short. So if I go back here and let me see, they're going to be seen as MP4s. sample video 1. That's down at the bottom there. I'm going to download one of those. Okay. All right, so let's say I want to upload that. I'll click new video or audio. Okay, if it's a local file, video file that I would like to upload, I just choose the upload link here. There it is, sample video. Now it's uploading it. Okay, you have to give it a title. My sample video, and then if you wanted to give it a description, you could. Okay. I'll click save.
We have to have alt text.
Up, forgot that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Add alt text.
Can we
Have
just
to
make
be in
it what is,
compliance.
Like a tag or something?
What's that?
Is it like a tag or?
It's for screen readers. So if someone with visual impairment is looking at your website, it will read that descriptor.
Much more careful with that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, much more, I guess, descriptive. Spend more time on it.
Yeah.
I should say.
All right, there we go. So now it put it on there.
Yeah, so that one won't be on there either unless you have alt text.
You have to have, Yeah, because on the page, it's going to be represented by a block. And when the screen reader gets to it, there has to be a description for it to read what it is. Okay? Yeah.
You're
So
basically telling it to go someplace new, but you're not, it's not really, it doesn't know where.
you're telling the screen reader what it is it has encountered on the website. Yeah. All right. And so with any of the videos that you've uploaded to your video gallery here, you have the option to go in and edit them. You can look at the public view. You get, once you upload it to Edlio, it automatically gives you embed code. So if you wanted to embed this on another page that you have, or maybe someplace outside of Edlio, you could do that by copying the embed code here, right? And you could also unpublish it or then delete it as well. All right, so if I come back here now to my, and this is where it gets a little convoluted because we were in pages and we were able to get to video, but then if we want to get back to our pages, well, there's no link here. You have to go back to your dashboard. All right. If we go back to dashboard and then pages, personal pages, then here it is. There's my default, my copy of default, and then there's my video page.
It added a post page. I didn't add that. Is that because I added a video?
Yes, when you add, yeah, it sees that as a posted article, sort of. Yeah, and again, once it's on there, you can rearrange it. Okay, and well, I'll get to that in just a second. Any questions there about the videos? I mean, this is all really straightforward. You just got to know where to get to it and how things work. Okay, so video pages we did. Then there's also the photo album page, which is nice. Okay, I have an example of that on the district website. So right here, the groundbreaking ceremony, I made a little photo album right here. And if we click on it, this is what a photo album would look like. So you can click on thumbnails and then you can go from one to the next.
Is there a centralized, like maybe list of students who aren't allowed to be on the website, or because I know it's like implied consent?
Each school, there should be somebody at the school who receives that information. The way I understand it, it is up to the parent or legal guardian to let the school know. And I think that might be something that is noted in their Skyward profile. Okay. All right. So to create a photo gallery or a photo page, rather, you just click Add Page and then choose Photo Album. Okay. You give your photo album a name. You can create the album here. Okay. My Great Gallery. Okay. We click OK. Here again, you upload your content. And you can also pull it from Google Drive. All right. So let me grab a couple images here. Well, I actually already have done that. So let me choose our computer. These 3 photos. Okay, open those. There we are. All right, so all done. Says see your photos. Once again, alt text, you got to add that. Okay, so 1. Okay. Add your alt text. 2. Save. Next. 1 more time. 3. Save. There we go. Okay. Nice thing here is if it was taken upside down or sideways, you can quickly rotate it. Okay. And we're good. We're ready to go. That's all set. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and you can create lots of photo galleries if you want. Okay. Next, let's look at posts. So again, we got to go back to, it's not easy to get back here. So you got to go back through your dashboard to get to pages. Here we are, personal pages. There's my photo album now. All right, so you add a page and then you would go to, oh, I told you wrong. Okay, to create a post like a blog, it's actually a separate section. You're not going to find it here under add page. You'll find it right there in the dashboard, right here at the bottom. Okay, so if we click posts, here we are. We can add a text post, link, photo, file, video. All right, so if I wanted to make a text entry, I could click text, give this a title. Okay, and then some sample text here.
This kind of like our Google stream, like whatever that we use.
You can think of it that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what-
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and whoever subscribes to it could automatically get it sent to them, or it'll post it on your site, and then they can see it whenever they visit the page. All right, so I will paste that in. It's going to go to my personal page. I'll click save. Okay, so now I have 2 posts there. So if I go now, let me show you what this is going to look like. If I go to the dashboard and then I go back to pages here, personal pages, go to my default page here, and then I preview it, or I go to the public view, look at what I'm going to see. Down at the bottom, it's going to have my post. Okay? And so every new post entry is going to automatically appear down at the bottom. Okay?
Will it keep the history of them?
Yes. Yes.
So which one goes up? The newest one?
Yeah, the newest one will be on the top. Yeah, the most recent will be on the top. Mm-hmm. Okay, now embedding content. This is where it's going to get fun if you've not done this before, because you're going to learn something new. Okay, so let's try that out. Let me get to, we're going to create a blank page here. Okay, so I'll say add page and then blank page. Here we are. All right, I'm going to say embed page. We'll delete this page later. Okay, so we want to add some code, and so we're going to have to add a regular text block. So we'll click add and then content. All right, here we are. All right, so there was a document that I shared with you that has lots of embed code. All right, so it looks like this. Now, where I got these codes were from YouTube or some other places. All right, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but if you go to YouTube, all right, So if I went to this video right here, and if I click share, look, there's embed, and then there's the code. All right, so I could copy that. Notice you also have this option, start at. So if you wanted the video to start at a certain point, you just pause it, play the video, and then scroll to that location, and then check here, and it'll start right there at that point. Okay, I don't need to do that. So I'll go ahead and click copy. So I got it on the clipboard. All right, and then when I come back here to Edlio, now I'm not just going to paste it here in the text box. I have to go up here to the source code option. You see that little area? Okay. If I click there, see my cursor's blinking. I've got it on the clipboard, so now I'm going to paste it in. Command V. And there's my code, just paste it. So now watch. This is where it gets cool. When we click save, watch what'll happen. There's the video. Okay? So you could do this with any video or content that has embed code available. You could also do it with presentations. Google Slides generates embed code as well. I don't know if you're aware of that. Let me show you where that is. So if we click on Slides and you click on File, and then if you publish it to the web, look here, embed, there's the code. You could just copy that code and then embed it into your presentation. So watch, I'm going to do a Command A to select all of it, and then Command C to copy it. All right, so if I add another content block, watch this. Save. Ha! There's my presentation. I just embedded into my website.
So what happens when like that YouTube video is no longer available?
It says no longer available right here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then to get rid of it, all you'd have to do is select it and then strike the delete key. It's gone. Yeah.
That happens.
This must be a kind of silly question. So what's different between embedding and like downloading a video, putting in, or putting a link?
Well, when you're putting a link on here, somebody has to click on the link, and then it takes them to another page, maybe outside of your website. Embedding it keeps everything self-contained. All right, which is great, and you can do the same sort of thing inside a Google Slide where you can insert YouTube videos or Google Drive. You're embedding the content. It keeps everything in the same area. Makes it a lot easier, right? Accessibility, right? Okay. All right. Resizing graphics, and this might come in handy at some point, but if you look, if we go back to the ESC here, I want to show you where this works. And in technology, you'll see over on the right-hand side, I've added some graphics. All right. And I just turned these into hyperlinks so people could click on them. And they were a little bigger, and I had to resize them once I inserted them into Edlio. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quickly right now, okay? So what we'll do is I'm back here inside of Edlio, and on the right-hand side, you see we also have this add area. So if we click that button rather. Now you might think if you want to add a picture, you choose photos, but don't do that. Don't choose the photos option. Photos, that's going to be for displaying in a main area. Okay, so instead, what we're going to do is we'll choose content. Then in content, what we'll do is we will look for this little icon here, the image. Now, I've got a graphic that I want to use, and it's back here in our file download. It was the social media, it was the Facebook logo. Okay, that logo is what I want to put on the right-hand side of my website. So let me download that first. Okay. Now I got it stored locally, and now I can add that. All right, so I've got my little area, and then I'm going to click the Insert Image option. Okay, when we do that, we're going to see this little icon here, which will prompt us to upload it. Okay, there it is, my Facebook logo. I'll click open. It's going to upload it. Alt text. I add that. Okay, now if you want to resize it, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look there. So I think this is going to be too big. So I'm going to set it to 75 pixels. And this little icon right here locks the aspect ratio so it doesn't get out of proportion. All right. Now look over here too. Under advanced, you have the option to apply a style or put a border around it. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I just wanted you to know it's there. All right. So I'll click save. And there it is. Now, once it's there, look what we can do. We can turn it into a hyperlink. So we could say, all right, we want this to go to maybe your Facebook address. Okay. All right, open link in. I'll say a new page. If you say new page, that actually keeps them still on your page. Just opens up a new tab. All right, and I'll click save.
I noticed that file extension is different than like a JPEG. Can you use JPEG file? Or
You can. You can. Now the ping is nice because it lets you use transparency. So any colors that are behind the image, they'll be able to see through it if transparency is a part of that graphic. All right. Also, in terms of positioning, you can manually resize it here if you want to, and then you can change the alignment with your alignment options right here. Okay, so that's how I was able to do all these over here. Created them in Canva, and then I saved them out as pings, and then I just inserted them just like I showed you. And now they're all linked. All right, so you can really make your websites look nice now that you know how to position things around. Okay, last thing that I'm going to cover. Boy, this is going to time out really well. I'm actually a little bit over, but that's okay. All right, and you all, I believe, have actually done this part, and that is connecting your classes. But for those who are watching who have not done this before, or maybe you want to know how to link additional classes or remove a class that you've already joined, let me walk you through that real quickly. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go back to account and then the dashboard. All right, I'm going to leave this. I don't need to save any of it. And then you will see classes. Okay. You see classes one more time. You got to click the link twice. All right. And then you click add class. Now, if you have a Google Classroom, which everybody should, you're going to choose yes. All right. So it's going to ask, okay, what Google account are you using? I have this dummy account tied to my school account. So I'll choose that profile, accept the permissions. Okay. All right. So now it's connected with Google Classroom. Now I just want to add the class. Okay. So here they all are. You can see we've got this show because I'm an admin. I get to see every one of them. All right. So I think, what did I call it? Demo class. Good thing I wrote that down. I'm in the C's. Demo. All right, so I've got it checked. Click next. You choose your department. I'll leave this set to unassigned, but you can see what the other categories are. Click connect and add classes. Okay, at this point, there were some users that ran into a little bit of an issue where it would just continue to load. And the way, there we go. If that happens to you, if you're trying there at home, just refresh your page and eventually you'll get back here. So here it is. All right, I've connected it. And then what you'll do to add that syllabus is you'll click Edit Class. And then right here is where you attach the class file. You choose Select a File. Now, if you have your syllabus in Google Drive, this is actually nice because it converts the Google Doc to a PDF for you right there on the fly. Again, we got to make that connection here, I think. So if I type in syllabus, search for it. There we go. I'll say select. It'll upload it and just made a PDF of it. Okay?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
You saw where you added your class and in the middle column, it said, it gave assignments, like it said you had 2 assignments.
Yeah, so that's going to pull upcoming assignments from Google Classroom. There'll be a record of that.
See, mine doesn't.
Okay, I can talk about that in just a minute. Yeah. FYI, this information up here, this is going to be pulled from your Google Classroom. All right, so if I go to classroom.google.com and then I go to my demo classroom, it's this information right here that's going to be pulled in. All right, now how you edit this is by going through the settings menu right here, and then under class details, that's where you enter that info. All right. All right. When you're done making changes here, you just click save, and then it'll take you back here. All right. Now, if there's an issue with syncing and you want you just entered some information on Classroom and it hasn't filtered out yet to Edlio, I think it does it at the end of the day, but you wanted to do it right now, you could click this link here, update now, and it'll sync the 2 services for you. Okay. And then if you needed to disconnect a class or remove it, it's just a matter of going edit class and then down. Where was the option to? Yes. Delete it. You click stop importing class from Google Classroom. All right. And you can check it and then disconnect it. Okay. And that is it. Okay. Last thing, you all will probably want your certificates. So at the very bottom of that resource page is the training completion form. Simply click that link. It will take you to the Google form. Fill out the information. Today, of course, is November 4th, and this is how to create awesome teacher sites with Edlio. Click submit, and then the certificate will be on its way. Appreciate everyone coming today. Hope you've enjoyed it and have learned something. We'll get this video edited and posted it within the next day or 2. All right? That's a wrap. Thank you, everyone, for attending.